Hi guys, I'm Jennifer and I'm doing my presentation on why I believe the death penalty should not be abolished in the United States. Um, just a quick little background on the death penalty. So the death penalty in the United States has been around as long as the United States has become a country. It kind of came over with the settlers when from Europe. So when the settlers came over, they continued to do it. It was called capital punishment. It still is, but kind of better known as the death penalty now. With that being said, the death penalty has come a long way from what it was back then to what it is today. But today, what qualifies you for the death penalty is the killing of another human, and it varies from state to state what else can make you eligible for the death penalty, but just depends on what has gotten you to that point. So I'm going to start off with my why and why I'm kind of choosing this topic to talk about. The first thing I want to say is obviously this is a controversial topic and everyone has their right to their own opinion, and I totally understand both sides of this argument. So for me, I kind of chose this topic because of the golden rule, and that's how I was grown up. I grew up with that, and I've always kind of lived by that, and I think it applies to a lot of different circumstances in life, particularly this one. But the golden rule, for those of you who don't know, is treat others how you want to be treated, or do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So I kind of chose this topic because that's kind of a rule I live by, and I believe that for one, everyone should be able to follow the law, and that's a part of why we kind of have the death penalty. It should be a kind of a warning. I think people will do it either way, even if it wasn't there, but I think it's kind of, you choose to take someone else's life, you don't have the right to continue to have your life. So again, the background on the death row is just that the death sentence may only be imposed on crimes in which a victim is killed. However, each state varies, and again, all states across the United States, some have the death penalty, some do not, just depends. And then as of now, there are 53 inmates on death row. And this is because they have been found guilty of crimes they've committed. So I believe in the death penalty because of the justice I think it serves. I think people typically will say, well, what good does this do now that they're gone? Instead of saying or asking that question, I kind of think, what have they done to get themselves in this position? I think if you choose to take another person's life, why should you have the opportunity to continue to live? And another point that I've just kind of read about and had a lot of people say is your past should count. I don't think that everyone's slate can just be wiped clean. I think you need to be accountable and held accountable for your actions in your past because it applies to your present. So some counter arguments again that I'd like to talk about, and these are all very these are very valid arguments, the off chance that we execute someone innocent. So to respond to that, the tolerance for executing someone wrongfully should be less than 1%. So again, that's because that's how our justice system is designed, to have so many trials, appeals, and all those steps to get them to that place. Again, I believe in the death penalty when there's overwhelming amounts of evidence proving that this person is guilty and has killed another person. Another counter argument is that it's racially motivated. Just for reference, though, 11 to 12% of the population occupies 47% of death row. So out of the 53 inmates, 23 are black, 22 are white, 7 are Latino, and then 1 person is Asian. So with that kind of gives you a look into what it is right now. Previously, I think that could have been a motivated argument. However, I think we're moving tides toward it being not racially motivated. And again, I think this should have to, when this principle is applied, I think it has to have overwhelming amounts of evidence to prove that they have done it. They've gone through all the trials and appeals to get them to this point. A second chance. So this is brought up a lot in counter arguments that people may say, well, don't you think anybody can be rehabilitated or second chance? There are a lot of examples of people who have gotten out of prison after and recommitted those crimes. Not to say in every situation that they can't be rehabilitated. I think that's possible for a lot of people. However, in this specific circumstance, I don't think killing another person should give you the opportunity to be rehabilitated because you chose to take someone else's life, and they don't have that opportunity to live their life. And there's a difference between wanting someone to have a second chance versus do they deserve that second chance. I think a lot of people who have gotten to this point of their life and have the death penalty, I don't think they necessarily deserve a second chance if they've chosen to take another person's life. And so again, when I close out this presentation, I just want to clarify everything can use improvement, and I believe that the death penalty is no excuse. I think there's a lot of things that we need to clarify and reconstruct with the death penalty and what qualifies you to have that and what makes you eligible. Again, if you look back a couple hundred years ago, there's been a lot of improvement. Again, I think it clearly still needs that. But overall, when I think you choose to take someone else's life, I don't believe again, not in all circumstances, I don't believe that you should have the choice to continue to live life when you've chosen to take that from somebody else. And then in every situation it's different, but I still take it back to the golden rule. So with that said is you do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So again, same point there. And a little bit of background on why I feel this way is just I've taken several law classes. We've always had this debate in every law class that I've been in, and I always come back to the same conclusion because I've read on so many cases and different situations where I don't believe those people who have committed heinous, absolutely awful crimes deserve to have a chance at life. I just don't think that that's fair that they've ruined or taken lives that didn't deserve to be taken. So in my closing, again, I just want to say that everyone has their own opinion, and I respect that, and hopefully you can respect mine, and this is why I've come to that conclusion. So thanks, guys.